So your headphones, girl. I hope that I can do this right. Make sure you feel safe tonight. Make sure you feel safe tonight. And it's so worked out now that you are here. And I'm so proud that I wipe my tears.
Walking on ice, paper thin, skating on the surface of what might have been. Do you wanna be set free? Voices in the sound of the cracks all singing to me. Do you wanna be set free?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Learning Fives. We are here in North America, ready to bring you the series between Inters and GV Tempest. My name is Nabiria, and I am joined here by Belkarama. Belk, how are you today?
I'm doing great. I am victorious. I am feeling fine. How about you?
I'm feeling all right. You know, it's a good morning. Well, afternoon by now. It's been such a great morning that I forgot it had bled into the afternoon. We're seeing a lot of 80 carry bands coming out, which leads me to believe we might not be seeing some cheesy bruisers bot.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if we still see them. Misfortune is one of the big bullies in the meta right now. Lucian as well, picked up with the Essence Reaver, can do a lot of damage. Some of the other Draven, Xayah, Ezreal. But we'll see what they pick up here.
Bands coming out pretty quick. Renekton going to be very, very quickly locked in there in the top lane for what's I'm actually kind of excited to see this because at least in my solo queue, I've seen a huge influx of Renekton players opting into the early Essence Reaper pickup.
Unfortunately, that leaves you quite squishy, especially into a Darius pick where you are stuck trying to fight this guy, this big, mean, bleeding machine. Elsewhere, we've got Trundle and we've got Xin Zhao. Trundle with his pillar makes a big pain in the butt, and Xin Zhao is going to be diving like a madman. I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to work out.
Yeah, Xin means that the emphasis here in the early game for Inters is probably going to be on some ganks. In what lane, though, we're not quite able to tell just yet. Ahri has a lot of mobility once she hits level 6. Swain, not so much. But what about this top lane? Is this going to be easily influenced by jungle ganks, or is it going to be a case of top lane island?
I'm expecting to see some action on the top side. Renekton with his stun can get in there and set in the Zinzao pretty easily. Trundle, of course, with his pillar can block people off and give Darius a bit of a snowball chance here. Ari, of course, safe in the mid lane after she hits level 6. Movement speed on her Q keeps her safe. I'm expecting a bit of a wave clear Fiesta in the mid lane early game, and we'll see. Right now, it looks like a really tanky team comp from the blue side here.
Yeah, absolutely. But the Kaisa pickup is going to be a whole lot of damage with the support of this Morgana with the Black Shield. Should give her a little bit of much needed safety. We'll see what the response pickup is here for GV Tempest.
Interesting. The Rakan picked up. Rakan, of course, his initiation is going to be locked down and prevented by the Black Shield, but only can put it on one target. If this Rakan can RW into massive people before the Morgana can react, it can set up their team fight in a big way. As mentioned before, the 80 carries that were not banned, Kaisa, Ezreal, Draven. We see 2 of them here. And it'll be interesting to see how this lane works out. Ezreal poke heavy. Kaisa is really a bully when she gets running too. Early game is going to be tough to judge. I feel like the push pressure is going to be coming from Morgana and Kaisa. How are you feeling about this?
Well, I just like seeing Kaisa, honestly, because seeing a pop-off in the late stages of the game is always so satisfying. And Kaisa, much like Vayne, is sort of designed around delivering that experience. But do you think, as a result, the bot lane is going to be the central point of focus for both teams? Or where do you expect most of the action to be focused, at least in the earlier stages?
There's relative safety in the bot side with Ezreal having his E and Rakan as well being able to dash away. Morgana keeps Kaisa safe for the most part, and it's not like they have a ridiculous hard CC to lock down the Kaisa from the jungle. I'm expecting a lot of pressure on the bot side, but I expect that most of the play will be in the jungle and the top side of the map, just because these 2 big boys are going to be wanting to snowball in this game. I'm a bit surprised not to see teleport picked up by Ezreal. It has been common, and I'm surprised to see Kaisa taking it up. I usually see it on Lucian more than Kaisa's, but I haven't actually seen a whole lot of Kaisas in my game lately. How about you? What do you feel? Have you been seeing the teleport on Kaisa as well as all the other 80 carries?
Well, in pro play, teleport has become sort of a norm for 80 carries, as well as bleeding into solo queue a little bit. While you lose a little bit on that 2v2 pressure, you do get a lot of more convenient backs. You can back on less favorable timings in terms of wave management because you have that teleport to get you back in lane. Generally, as opposed to the top laner, you don't really have to do these crazy TP flanks because you're the 80 carry. You want to be in the back of the fight. You want to be protected. So you get to use that teleport on things like, okay, we just shoved out the wave, but they're hard shoving back. I need to back, though. I'll go do that.
Right,
However,
which is why
sorry.
This is why I'm sort of surprised that the Ezreal is rocking the heal, as he's one of the ones that really wants to get a good back timing with his tier and start putting pressure on the lane as quickly as possible. So him rocking the heal with the Rakan is a bit surprising.
Yeah, I guess they're looking for more of that 2v2 pressure here in the bottom lane because they do have that safety, as you mentioned. Ezreal, of course, well known for his get out of jail free cards, and he has the flash on top of that. So maybe they're expecting to go hard early game. So maybe we'll see a little bit of action in the bottom lane early stages, but Kaisa definitely will scale harder into the late.
Absolutely. Kaisa, real terror when she has her item spikes, and she can shred through just about everyone with her passive. It's actually incredible to watch. And you're right about the fantasy. It's actually so much fun to watch it. And I think it's the first time I'll get to cast a Kaisa match, and I'm really looking forward to it.
We'll hope that they play around that lane as they get into game, but stick around because we'll be back in just a minute with game between Inters and GV Tempest. Welcome back from that short musical interlude, everybody. We are back with Learning 5's action between Team Inters and GV Tempest. On the blue side, we have Team Inters with Whatsa in the top lane, Ideal Spark in the jungle, Taco Wolf on mid lane, Sniffle Sniffle on AD carry, and Oil on support.
And on GV Tempest, on red side, we've got Expression, Brevity on the Trundle, Amperly on the Ari, Why the Host on Ezreal, and Crimson Lotus 3 on the Rakan.
This is an odd level 1 strategy here from Inters. I guess they wanted to make sure there was no funny business specifically in the mid lane at 30 seconds.
And maybe they've had roams from the mid lane straight down into the bot side before, and they wanted to be sure that they could group up and put pressure on that. But yeah,
you know, whatever they're feeling, but it looks like great GV Tempest is feeling the invade a little bit, but not dropping the ward. That seems like an odd way to play it to me.
Right, trying to play aggressively and get vision is usually the standard. Instead, they just kind of posture aggressively and be like, no, we're good, okay, bye.
Hey, this is our oh, there's people here. Never mind, not our jungle, not our jungle. They got lost on the way, that's all. They were like, huh. You know, I don't remember blue buff being near enemy tab. Oh, that's a Renekton. Oh god, guys, we're on the wrong side of the map. But as we see the jungle start here from the bot side on both teams, as you were saying in Champion Select, they might focus top lane early, and with this pathing, it looks like they're going to do just that.
Yeah, it looks like Sniffle Sniffle was a bit reticent to throw out the last hit that would have procced the passive, worried about stealing it. So Xin might not have gotten as good a leash as he could have if he had slowed down his own autos and let Kai'Sa hit that last shot.
Yeah, this top lane is going to be incredibly contentious because both of them have Conqueror. Both of them are known for these bursty trades, but What's getting a little bit aggressive. He doesn't recognize that the passive is going to come out here. First blood might go down, but both of them looking to back off here. I think Expression got the better end of that trade.
Expression actually flashed aggressively to try to proc his Q, and I'm actually kind of confused why he walked away in the first place. He had his passive running. He probably could have picked that up without having to expend his flash if he had just played that a little more patiently and had more confidence in his own play.
Yeah, especially because Darius's passive gives you so much AD. At this level, it's not, you know, massive, granted, but it's still pretty significant when your only items are Doran Shield for both of them. But neither have potions. Whatsa has the flash advantage, and if given enough time, that will equalize to a lead for Expression, but it looks like Whatsa doesn't want that to happen just yet. Bone plating being procced in the mid lane, a little bit of a scrap as well, but Crimson Lotus looking for the engage. No, not gonna find it.
Nothing doing there. No Q coming out from the Morgana to stop him, and it looks like we've got another fight in the top side.
What's going in, and Expression isn't ready to respond in any way. Meanwhile, the mid lane gank coming out from Ideal Spark gets the knock up. It looks like Amperly might go down for first blood. No, not going to find the last auto.
Yeah, gets the potions ticking quickly enough that it keeps him alive there. Not much expended by Ideal Spark or Taco Wolf in that gank, and Amperly is now down his flash.
Good pressure there from Ideal Spark, using that early game Xin to put out so much pressure, burning a summoner spell. Looks like another scrap in the top lane. Expression not going to get the heal. He's going to have to back at this point, or he's going to risk dying.
Yeah, playing that well, and Expression unfortunately walking back into the stun that was procced by the Renekton and was ready and waiting. So it did not get the heal, so misses out on that trade. We missed Whatsa using his flash earlier, so at this point, they're even in the flash pressure, and that means the junglers should be looking to make a play up here.
Yeah, but instead it looks like Brevity going towards the bottom side of the map. He has no more camps down here other than that wolf camp he's taking now, so maybe they're looking for an early gank. It would utilize the heal that Why the Host has, so we can hope that will come in handy, because otherwise Sniffle Sniffle is going to have the advantageous map pressure from teleport.
Yeah, especially at this point that Ezreal probably wants to be recalling if he can get his hands on the tier. Trundle is going to be looking bot side, but the vision is already there for Sniffle Sniffle and Oil, so unless they're not paying attention...
Binding went out. He doesn't have it anymore. Oil is going to have to burn flash here, almost certainly. Oh, but the prediction from Crimson Lotus, first blood!
Wow, really nice prediction on the flash there by Crimson Lotus. Clutches out the first blood onto the Ezreal, which will give him a little bit of boost, so maybe he can pick up work his way towards the Sheen as well as the tier if he stays a little longer. Still didn't even need to use the heal there, but here, if they want to play aggressively, they do have the advantage of the summoners, and with the heal, it would be a safe play to make an aggressive play onto this Kai'Sa.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to just try poking her out a little bit. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Expression has regained lane control, shoving in that whole wave, and he has a massive CS advantage, 24 CS up. I had to catch myself there, Belk, because I wasn't sure I was doing the math right. That's how big a lead it is.
That is an immense lead for 5 minutes into the game. It feels like the Renekton has not had the opportunity to get much done.
Oh, but he can get the stun off with the gank from Ideal Spark. It looks like Whatsa is going to go down, but will Expression live? He's procced the ult. He's got the double kill. Great turn there from Expression, and an overestimation of their capabilities there from the top and jungler of Inters.
That's always the risk when you gank a Darius or a Rumble, one of those champions that if they have their ultimate, almost any gank is a risk of a double kill coming back the other way. Really good work by Expression to get the heal and the bonus damage and the double proc from the Q on the Renekton. I feel like Renekton probably should have played that a little more respectfully and waited a little longer for the Xin Zhao to close the gap. But a level 4 Xin Zhao into a Darius, ouch.
Yeah, we were talking a lot about this early game focused top lane, and it's sort of come out, but not the way we were expecting. You know, we were thinking maybe the junglers would come top and turn this lane one way or another, but instead, Expression's just been dominating the whole time. Are they going to have to send more top, or just ignore it entirely and try and stop the bleeding by putting pressure elsewhere?
At this point, I feel like Renekton's going to have a difficult time just getting access to the CS if Expression plays this right. He can continually bully this champion, especially when he gets the reset. And I mean, with the passive proc, Renekton does have his ultimate to try to diminish the impact of the ultimate and you time it properly so he does not get the clean reset if a gank comes in. But it's going to be really difficult to make an impact on this top side, especially when he's already down 2 kills and 30 CS now.
Yeah, we see perhaps a little scuttle over the blue buff here, red even. If I can figure out colors, that'll be great. The smite goes down from Brevity. Ideal Spark is certainly on the losing end of this trade, and in the top lane, it looks like it's the same story, but no, Brevity getting low. He's gonna flash. He's trying to follow. Ideal Spark going to turn. Great use of vision there as Whatsa doesn't. Oh, he does get taken down in the top lane. So close to living. Amperly making a ill-fated roam there.
Brevity with the really aggressive play, trying to flash in and follow. That was probably not going to work the way he would have liked it to, one or another. And now we've got Kai'Sa picking up another one.
Yeah, there was just nothing to say at that point. Everyone on GV Tempest was just so far forward there, expecting a whole lot of pressure that never came.
Yeah, maybe the success of Expression has them hyphy a bit too much, and they're not the ones with the 3 kills. That's all top side, guys.
Yeah, it's like, guys, we had kills up. We had that. It's like, no. That's all on the Darius. Y'all got nothing. Looks like Crimson Lotus trying to get the engaged. Brevity with the smite fight, not going to be able to secure it, but what will happen with this fight? Crimson Lotus going to get knocked up, pulled back. Brevity is the last one standing in this fight. No, Amperly, why are you going in? You've just secured a 3rd kill here for Inters, almost certainly. Void Rush maybe keeping him safe. The flash, the E from Taco Wolf. And Inters cleans up an easy 3-for-1 fight. That was bad.
That was interesting. Let's go with that. This dragon, trying to fight for the dragon, that's fine. That's not a terrible idea if you can get in and get out, and if you only give up 1 for it. In this case, though, both Brevity and Crimson Lotus give their lives and their summoners trying to get to this dragon, and with no way out and a 4v2, that was ugly. Amberly swinging around afterwards too, ill-advised and having to blow her own summoner and dying for it.
Yeah, that was, I suspect, thanks to a lack of communication on the side of GV Tempest. It looked like nobody was necessarily on the same page. They were on the page of, or rather, let's take the analogy even further. They were in the same chapter, but they were on different pages. One page was like, okay, You go in at this time, and the other page was like, in order to fix the carburetor of a car, you need to do the following. And Amperly was like, I don't know about carburetors, I just want to gank, and then goes in 1v3 and dies. Meanwhile, top lane might see a repetition of that result, except in the opposite direction. The TP gonna come out. What's going down? The reset is live for Expression. He gets the Noxian Might once again. This is not what they want, but no, he gets the kill. Trash Wolf doing so well. Taco Wolf even. Sorry, I was inspired by how that fight was played by GB Tempest, and the
I'm
main
actually
became Trash.
surprised. I'm surprised that Taco Wolf completed his teleport there, but with the Zins out there, and made it a smart and safe play to go in for that. And they pick up the shutdown, 550 gold, swinging over to the Swain, and he is a big boy now, 3-0-4. CS is even, but he's going to be able to pick up his Rod of Ages quickly. Good rotation by both junglers here. They realized that the top side tower was going to be going down soon, and that was where they needed to be. And the fighting on the top side pressure that I was expecting to happen is here finally.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, in a way, it's kind of worse for the team that had the winning top lane. Because sure, yes, Renekton is down 52 CS, and that is awful. That is just painful to watch. You hate to see that. But every time there's a fight anywhere else on the map, it's Inters who are taking the victory. It's thanks to Taco Wolf, 3-0-4 on that Swain. He's doing so much to mitigate the top lane pressure, and it looks like Oil getting picked off there by Brevity in that gank. So good on GB Tempest for trying to keep pressure up, but every time they have a full-on team fight, they're losing to Taco Wolf.
Yeah, I think with the fact that they have none of their summoners up, it's making them take bad fights. They don't have the vision for the rotations that when they're trying to take these fights, and they're just trying to force it a bit too hard. Yes, they know that the Darius is a big boy. Yes, they know he's strong, but at the same time, you have to respect the rotations that are available on your enemy team, especially when the Swain has so much power with his W from long range. In the first fight against the Trundle, the Visions of Empire actually swung that fight quite a bit because Trundle stood and took that full damage to the face.
Crimson Lotus going in for the engage. He's got the charm, he's got the knockup, and it's looking bad for Inter. Sniffle, Sniffle, barely able to make it out so far. His jungler sacrificing himself to save the Kai'Sa. Oil trying to kite out, but no, not gonna happen. Not able to put out the peel for his AD carry. So a free 2 for none in favor of GB Tempest. And just as I call that they were losing the lead, they somehow swing it back.
Yeah, Expression completing the teleport, and it looks like they're going to pick up their second tower after picking up the first on the top side. He managed to push off the Renekton, grab that tower, and then puts his Noxian Might to work on the bot side as well.
So they're starting to get some momentum now. Yes, they've been losing fights to Taco Wolf, but it looks like they're taking the fight elsewhere. They say, okay, he's mid lane, he doesn't have TP. Let's just go to the side lanes. That seems fun, right, guys?
Right, as long as they can keep this strong Swain isolated and pushed in, he's reaching the point where he actually has decent wave clear in comparison to the Ahri since his Q is on such a low cooldown. But as long as they can keep him here and stop him from impacting the map too much, the rest of their team isn't doing that well. The Kai'Sa is up in kills. Like
Amperly looking for the pick, missing the charm. Expression also missing the hook. That was an unfortunate gank there from GB Tempest, but Taco Wolf also doing a great job keeping those fancy feet going.
It's also kind of counter to what we were just talking about, that if you keep him there and leave him alone, he's not going to impact anything, and instead they just go for him.
Flash engaging on a Morgana who already has Black Shield up, probably not the best. Taco Wolf almost getting picked out there, Expression trying to flash in, get the kill, but he doesn't do a whole lot of anything. It's a big investment there from GB Tempest that didn't really pay off.
Yeah, that's a lot of flashes used to try to pick up some kills, and really aggressive. And they probably should be taking this opportunity to pick up their waves, try to get vision on the Rift Herald. Instead, they're trying desperately to pick up these kills, and not working out that great for them so far. Ideally, they start working towards the vision objectives and the neutral objectives that are coming up onto the map. We have another dragon spawning soon as well.
Expression, the 1v3, getting picked off, not able to take out the Renekton. He's like, guys, listen. Beating this Renekton every time. It's gonna... Wait, where'd these two others come from? Wait a minute. Oh no! Oh god! And he just gets massacred. Now, 4-2-0. and it looks like Inters are going to head for this dragon.
All right,
With the going their way.
With Darius gone, that's one of the big pressure players from GVT down, and they're going to pick up a second dragon, relatively uncontested. Well,
oh, engaged from Crimson Lotus. A great quickening there, but it's not going to be enough. The 1-for-1 trade so far, but it looks like Inters is going to clean up the rest of the fight. No, a bad engage there. A great re-engage from Amperly. Gets the triple kill, and he's going to get more. He gets the charm. Sniffle is so low. The flash comes out. Amperly gets the quadra. Is it going to be the penta? The flash out from Y the host, and it doesn't look... Yeah. Not the penta, but the ace gonna come out, and that was simultaneously so exciting and so disappointing, Val.
Right, bit of a tease there. They already could not pick up the penta because of the grasping roots, the Swain E coming out and grabbing him. Ezreal finishing off the kill. Well, they got the dragon. It looked good for a second there. The fight looked good, and then it went horribly wrong when the Kai'Sa went away from her team, and the Ahri, Amber Lee, goes and swings it completely one-sided towards them. Well done, and now they pick up the Rift Herald for themselves after that one fight.
Yeah, like you were saying, Amperly really just single-handedly slung that fight for them, seeing an opportunity to get a pick off, thinking this time, I just won't even look at the book. It doesn't matter if we're on the same page. If I'm reading from my own playbook, I got this. And to be fair, they got it. That was the quadra kill. The Crimson Lotus about to get picked off here, making it less of an advantage. So not great positioning there from the support from GV Tempest.
Yeah, aggressively warding, but not respecting the fact that the wave was in a bad spot. He had no vision of the mid area, so they had free reign to just walk right behind and pick him up. Unfortunately, Rakan.
Amberly having to blow the ultimate to get out. Why the host trying to get some poke damage on the backside, forcing the flash out from Oil, so that'll have to be good enough for that engage.
Yeah, they managed to get some pressure onto this mid tower. Unfortunately, they went a bit deep, didn't get anything going. Ezreal, why the host finally manages to hit something with his True Shot Barrage. I've been watching him. I've been judging him this whole time. But he managed to hit somebody. I'm so happy. Poor guy.
It's been a little rough for him this game. Yes, he's 3-1-4, but those ultimates have not been going his way.
Absolutely not. Renekton still down 60 CS on the bot side, and the top side. Unfortunately, this Darius still having his way with him.
Yeah, but at this point, Whatsa doesn't really need to do a whole lot, right? Every time we see success here for Inters, all he's had to do was get a stun on a priority target when his team's around. And the way they're playing right now, they can continue going like that, but this move up here with the Rift Herald from Brevity is going to prevent that from happening here from GV Tempest. But oh, never mind. That was a whole lot of damage there, not even getting the tower.
Nope. The eye change makes it so you take a ridiculous amount of damage with that one shot, and unfortunately, he did not manage to pick up the tower with that objective. Generally speaking, when you pick up a Rift Herald, you expect to be able to take one tower at least for your troubles. In this case, not even able to pick that up. Also, interesting positioning when he used it in front of a Renekton with a stun ready to go.
Yeah.
Didn't get punished for it, but...
And not a minion wave to back it up. So that was just really unfortunate placement all around, but it was probably expiring soon anyways, so at least they got a little bit of pressure there on that top lane tower as we see GV Tempest backing off after successfully pressuring both the bot and top lanes, picking up those two towers.
Yeah. Trundle neglecting his jungle for the moment and deciding to push and pressure the top side while his team pressures the bot side. Ahri lingering around the mid lane, trying to push these waves in. At this point, they don't have any vision inside their own jungle, so Inters is in an interesting spot there. They can't really rotate around the map as quickly and as safely as GVT can.
Yeah, it's getting a little rough if you're on the blue side this game. For a while, it was close enough that they could swing fights. And to be fair, they have a lot of power there in their carries. Taco Wolf, 4-1-7. Sniffle, 4-2-2 on Kai'Sa, of all things. So that's a lot of power that they have in these fights, but they're not able to capitalize on it, in part thanks to Whatsa's unfortunate laning phase where he's just so far behind that You can't really do anything other than be a stun bot. I was saying it was working for them, but it only works if you recognize that and play around that fact.
Yeah, and it works a lot better in skirmishes than in full-blown team fights. If you can lock down one target in a 5-man team fight, that's still 4 other people there that are big and that will stomp you, especially if they're this far ahead. Right now, the Ezreal is 3-1, maybe missing out on some CS. The Ahri, though, Ahri managed to do some good work in that last team fight, and I'm curious to see.
But the double TP bot, while the Baron is still on the field, it looks like one of them got interrupted, but Sniffle looking for the chase onto Expression. A great binding. Is this going to be the pick? It looks like it will, but the Baron take a good response here from GB Tempest. We'll see if Inters figure this out in time. Looks like they're well aware of it.
Yeah, they're doing that on vision. They didn't put down the pink before starting that up. So not even going to be able to take anything for that. 2 teleports used by Inters, though, is something. But if they can't get out of this situation, it's going to be all for naught.
Yeah, but it looks like Inter's instead trying to engage on this Baron, knowing that the Darius is not up. But he's up in 6 seconds. He has teleport. I don't know if this is what they want. And they get the engage onto the 80 carry. Ezreal is down. The fight is going to be free here from this point for Inter's Brevity. The tankiest member, Amberly, trying to get a pick off, but Oil, finally gets taken out to the Ignite. But so far, the fight is 3 for 1. You can't take those fights like that, guys. You don't have the fight advantage without your Darius.
Yeah, Darius not being there completely ruins the day. They're not even going to try to take this Baron, and it looks like Swain may be getting caught out here, overstaying and not having the support of his team.
Getting abandoned by his team. I feel like they could have just won that. Just turn.
Ooh! Oh. Renekton and the Zinzao calling in the bush almost get caught out by a wild Darius roaming and looking.
They could have turned that.
Absolutely, they could have
Taco
turned that.
would not have had to die. That is unfortunate to see.
Absolutely, and it gives Trundle the opportunity to make his way over to the Dragon and at least take one of those off of the field.
Yeah, at least that's something. I hate having to say that because that could have been such a great play there from Inters, but they decided to just leave their mid laner out to dry for whatever reason. I assume communication breakdown. And you really hate to see teams sort of lose their lead like that.
Well, you don't want to leave your mid laner behind, especially when he's the big guy on campus. He's winning these team fights pretty well with his damage and his CC, and then he just gets left out to dry. It's hard to watch, especially when the other 2 are healthy enough that they can make an impact and stop it from happening.
Yeah, not only can they stop it, but guys, you just won a huge fight. You took out 3 people. You had all 4 left. Just
Push
go
a
back
tower.
if your mid laner's getting chased out, or at least communicate that he needs to back off sooner.
Yeah, at least there's a lot of towers still left up on the field for Inters to try to close this gold gap down. If they can win some of these team fights again and continue to do that, then they'll be in a good position to close the gap and get a lot of gold into their pockets.
Yeah, it looks like they're going for the pick here onto Expression, but the great re-engage there from the Rakan. Expression flashes out, finally taken down, but a lot of ultimates blown on both sides. Taco Wolf trying to get the pick onto the mid laner of GB Tempest, not quite going to be able to do it. Looks like a whole lot of poke just left over for both teams, and we'll see what they decide to do here in the mid lane.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to push this out with the amount of wave clear that the Ahri is providing. Yes, the Darius is down, but a lot of the ultimates are gone. Kai'Sa has hers, Morgana has hers, but doesn't really have the HP to make a play. So I am expecting this to just reset before too long. Some of the neutral buffs are coming up for Inters, and some of the wave positioning is disastrous for GBT if they don't respond to that bot side wave. And top side, you look at it too.
It just feels a little bit like the teams aren't paying attention at all to their macro potential in these fights. Like, okay, cool, y'all went mid. Okay, cool, y'all got a pick. What are you going to do with it? Why are you both there? It's just sort of the ARAM problem you see in a lot of games in the lower levels, where it's just, okay, we've seen team fights, those are fun, let's do a few of those. And then nothing happens until someone's like, screw this is boring, I'm gonna go push bot.
Well, that's why a lot of the times when you have these ARAM team comps, or in low-level games, you pick something like a Brand or a Katarina, and if you're gonna ARAM, you just ARAM way better than they do.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Ideally, yeah,
Both
ideally they
these
make
teams.
plays across the map and actually realize that there are objectives to be taken after winning team fights, like this
Yeah,
top tower that's completely undefended at the moment.
yeah. GV Tempest, not quite on that same level of like, hey, we only have one outer. Maybe they're going for that. But looks like they'll be here in time to respond and maybe make a fight out of it, trying to get the pick onto Expression, but a great engage once again from Crimson Lotus is going to pick off one. Will it be two? The reset came out, but it wasn't a clean one on the second attempt. It looks like Inters is on the back foot. The Kaisa got caught out, and this will be a free chase down here from GV Tempest. Not going to be able to get the charm, but Why the Host with some great cues going to keep the chase going. Double kill for him. Finally, they'll be able to get the Baron.
Really good work by them to close out that fight. Incredibly important charm by Amperly to make sure that the Kaisa could not get out of there. Of course, the Xin Zhao is still standing while they are making this play. Does not have vision of it, so he's going to have to time this closely. And that was not close.
That's rough.
That's rough. No vision makes that play very difficult to do, especially over the blast cone. So unfortunate for him, but they pick up the Baron Asher.
Yeah, and with that Baron, they will decide to just all back at once, regen their health bars after that huge fight, and decide what they're going to do next. They need to play around Why the Host's damage. We saw in that fight, he was able to poke out a whole lot, and on the chase, he was integral to their success. So we'll see how they decide to split their lanes at this point. Looks like they're ignoring top, which had a pretty big wave, so not sure what they're doing with this, or why Brevity is backing.
Yeah, both top and bottom had a big wave built up. The Renekton cleared it out on the bot side, and the Kai'Sa's doing the same on the top side. Because they all recalled, they didn't have really any opportunity to set up the waves for the next part of this push, which is a bit unfortunate for them. In the meantime, we've got Why the Host and Crimson Lotus doing a bit of damage onto the bot side and avoiding the initiation from the Renekton and the Morgana. So nothing doing there.
Yeah, unfortunately not. Why the Host getting a little bit of poke down on his face, but he's Ezreal. He'll be fine as long as he's in the back line. And looks like they are splitting 1-3-1 at this point. Brevity picked up that Titanic Hydra with that back, and they will try and put pressure here onto this mid lane turret. They should be able to get it in just a few autos, but Why the Host might get picked off here. He's able to get out, and the engage from Crimson Lotus going to get the charms down, but it looks like they'll lose 2-3 in the process. Brevity about to go down. He has the ult ticking, but this is a terrible fight for GV Tempest thus far. Amperly able to get a return pickoff. It is now 2-1, but that was a fight they did not need to take.
No, the unfortunate reality is Crimson Lotus, despite all of the mobility built into Rakan's kill, managed to get picked off by the Swain.
And that's even worse. Sniffle Sniffle coming in, seeing that Brevity was way out of position. And those are some long death timers at this point. It's unclear where they'll go from here, but only 2 members left with Baron.
Yeah, 2 members left with Baron, and next to no opportunity to really make use of it now that 3 of them have died with it. It was not a terrible idea to push that middle tower, especially, but yeah, no, if you have your 2 fed people on the map on opposite sides of the map, you probably don't want to risk it. You don't want to risk taking a fight that you can't win 5v3. Have a little more respect for the CC abilities, especially because as soon as you get caught by 1, the Swain is going to pull you into the team, and you're not going to have a good time there.
Yeah, no, very much not a good time had by anyone on GV Tempest in these fights as of late. You know, they have the potential to win them. We saw in the pre-Baron fight, in fact, they got a pick. Kaisa went in, got mispositioned, got caught out, and Why the Host was able to capitalize. Amperly was able to capitalize. And on the back of that fight, that happened again. You know, Why the Host got caught out, but Amperly got a charm. They got a kill. Then Brevity got caught out. And then they lost another member. So they just need to realize, okay, we can pick things on the peripherals, but in these big 5v5 team fights, that Kaisa, really scary.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to pick and get a lot done in these team fights if you don't have the vision, if you don't have the setup, if you're not getting that one isolated target and starting it off on the right foot.
Like this. Charm goes down, almost get the kill onto Ideal Spark. There it is. The snipe out from Why the Host, and now suddenly Baron buff still available for a little bit longer. Just fell off, unfortunately for them. Great pull there. That was amazing. And the Rakan going in with the quickness, the quick kills coming out, the triple kill for Y the host. And this should be at least something, if not the game. They're going to go for this inhibitor tower here, going to try and clear the wave. They've picked off 3. I really hope they don't lose anyone here, because that would be terrible for them.
They should wait a little bit and make sure they have their wave in the right position. Trundle is currently pressuring the bot side while 4 people are mid. They don't have the wave there yet. Now it is. Now, hopefully, with that in place, they should be able to pick up both these inhibitor towers for relatively free.
Yeah, the inhibitor mid lane going down. The bottom lane should soon follow. We see the minions just took out that tower, but Brevity not backing out just yet. Never mind. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he's not really
Why am
worried
I
about
worried?
2 levels down Xin Zhao when nobody else is around. Trundle is Trundle. He has fun with 1v1s.
Yeah. Well, usually not against us in. Brevity, once again, little far forward in this fight. Good pillar there to try and keep them on the back foot, though. He'll get out just fine.
Yeah, I think it kind of looked like he was disconnecting or lagging out for a little, unless that's just my client doing special things.
It looked that way for me, too, but I just assumed he was
Typing?
trying for an advanced bait.
Well, with that done, the Baron buff has expired. Nothing on the map to take for a little bit. Another 2 minutes until the next Baron respawns. Kai'Sa is alone pushing this top tower. Has to respect the Darius, and she will. He's still on the hunt. Oh, too slippery.
Yeah. This is now a very slow portion of the game. They were able to get that mid lane inhibitor. There are no big objectives left on the map, which to me, Belk, says that they should all be looking for that bottom lane inhib, or at least 4 of them with a 5th one with teleport. Not available, by the way.
That would be the smart thing to do,
tough.
yeah. But if they're not going to be doing that, and their positioning tells me they're not that interested in that bottom lane, well, Trundle might be making his way and trying to split push that. If they're not going to be doing that, they should be taking this time, this quiet period on the map, to set up vision on the map and try to make picks to try to close this game out as quickly as possible. Right now, no vision really, no pinks on the map inside the enemy jungle to try to catch somebody off, to try to darken the map and make that side of the map a scary place. So this Swain just freely walks up and takes his blue buff, nothing to do. It's generally not how you want to play this. You want to make them scared to go into their own jungle when you're ahead like this.
And you definitely shouldn't be pushing down the only lane that has super minions, because that's counterproductive at best.
Yeah, the thing will push itself. You don't need to be there. They don't need
boy.
help. And
This is
Trundle.
quite the fight. Brevity now 1v3. His team not quite there yet. He's popped the ultimate, tried to subjugate, gets himself out with it, but he didn't need to be caught out there. He didn't need to be there in the first place because his team wasn't ready to play around it. It seems like a lack of communication here from GB Tempest.
Either a lack of communication or a lack of knowledge of how to play this situation. Generally speaking, you want to have the waves in a position where they have to respond to more than one thing on the map. If Trundle is the only one who can do damage to your base, of course you're just going to go to the Trundle and ignore everything else. Now is a good time for the Trundle to be pushing. They're being pulled in 3 different directions. This is fine. But before, it was just Trundle. So of course everybody's going to go to the Trundle.
Yep, they pick up that second inhibitor. The first one not yet back up. Maybe they'll rotate to the top lane. They have a wave coming on its way, but it looks like GB Tempest just going to stick in the base here, try and get the pick off onto the Kai'Sa. They do. Great knock-up, great ult from Rakan, going to get the advantage in the fight. Expression now 1v3, Sterix popping, trying to stall so his team can get the base. They've gotten 1 Nexus Tower almost, but I don't know if this was the right decision. The 2 that were trying to fight off Expression just came back. The flashback in, the re-engage from Ideal Spark. He's low. He's taken out. And GB Tempest is on the back foot. Why the host trying to poke out, but he's so low. But he gets it. They get the ace, and only 1 member dies, and it looks like they will pick up the game here in Learning 5s.
Clean engage by Crimson Lotus, picking off the Kai'Sa, one of the biggest threats that they had. After that's done, too many people focusing on Expression on the top side. Darius with the teleport could have come in too, but didn't matter in the end, Amperly and why the host managed to close it out and do enough damage to end the game. That was something.
Yeah, that was an interesting game. It was kind of back and forth for a while, and the fights were just going one way, then suddenly going another, and then the next fight. From fight to fight, it was not consistent in any way. Because one time, be a complete stomp from Inters. Another time, complete stomp from GV Tempest. But it looked like GV Tempest ended up stomping the most. But with that, this is going to be our final series of the day. We thank you all for coming out here, learning fives from myself, from Belk, from our lovely production manager, Penguin God. We hope you will stick around and come back for more. If you're interested to see more of us, you can always follow our Twitch, follow the Twitter in the Twitch description, or join our Discord. We hope to see you next week with some more Learning 5 show matches.